I found the pattern in the magazine. They used 1.5-inch strips, but you can use whatever width. I had 2.5-inch. They used a certain color. They used all blues and greens. I'm doing it scrappy. But the idea is you sew your strips of fabric. They were using fat quarters. Sew your strips of fabric together with a diagonal seam, and you just keep sewing and sewing. Whatever size strip you use, you need 2 squares for the middle. So I have 2.5-inch strips, so I did 2.5-inch squares. You'll put your squares, you'll start, you'll sew, you sew one piece, and then off of your long strip, and you'll cut it. Then you sew the next, and you cut it. You sew this, you will cut here, then start, then put right sides together and start here. So your same fabric may go on more than one side, and then you'll have the diagonal seam where the next fabric started, and then the seam where the next one started.
And you just keep going round
and you just keep going. Yeah, now mine, I don't have as many rows as they did because my strips were bigger, so I decided this was, whatever size this is what I wanted. So you just keep, now if you want it planned, you can maybe do your 2 squares the same color in the middle on all of them, and you can do it coordinated if you want, but I'm just doing scrappy.
That's cute.
They did all blues and greens, lights and darks, but you don't have to worry about where you put them. Now, they were calling for fat quarters, so when I had a long piece, maybe a 45-inch wide, I'd either cut it into 3 pieces or cut it in half because I didn't want the same fabric going around 3 times. I wanted it to change every so often. So most of the time it was just 2 sides that you got. This one has a little bit on there.
That's cute.
So you just, they're the same. Yeah, you just, sew, cut it off, then put the next one, sew, cut it off, and just keep going around, building your log cabins. Mine, because mine are scraps, so some are short. The pattern in the magazine was telling you use fat quarters. So everything was cut like a 22-inch length or something. But I got different sizes because I'm using scraps.
That's cute. I love scraps.
This is from Fons and Porter magazine, January, February 2007. So if anybody's been getting their magazines for a long time,
Yeah,
and you might be able to pull it up on the internet.
Yeah, just sew your strips diagonal. Yeah, because for one thing, you don't have to cut individual. Lots of the log cabins tell you, cut so many this length and so many that length and so many that
You
length.
could actually just keep going around and make, well, no, because then you'd have,
You found
if you made a great big square.
Well, if you wanted maybe like a tabletop or something, you could, or even a baby quilt, you could just keep going.
And make a
You
great
could
big
keep going.
square.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
could
have
keep
different
going.
fabrics if your strip is long.
But it would end up being square. You could do a Christmas tabletop.